Well, we'll talk about the new H-1B policy that is stated by the President Donald Trump, and it will be effective from 21st of September 2025. But the US companies who are hiring new H-1B workers will have to pay $100,000. That is a great number for India. It will be about 80 to 85 lakh rupees per visa petition, valid for 12 months unless extended, which means it is not a one-time fee. Rather, it is an annual fee that the employers will have to pay to the US government in lieu of the H1B workers that they are using or that they are employing. Well, so what does the policy say? The policy says that $100,000 of fees required for new H1B visa petitioner, right? That companies hiring foreign workers will have to pay. Second is 12 months validity. It is only valid for 12 months, right? Unless it is extended by the company. So if the company wants to extend, they'll have to pay again of that $100,000, which means it is not a one-time fee. It is a fee that has to be paid again and again every year. And for the existing workers, it is said that they are safe as of now. However, there will be complications that may arise if they are coming back to the US after 12 months, right? So these are the complications that may arise. What is the Trump's rationale, or what does he believe that this should be done, right? So Trump's rationale on this is the H-1B program has been exploited to replace American workers with cheaper labor. He's saying that H-1B visa is being exploited to replace the American workers with cheaper labors coming from outside the country. Right. So, but there will be legal challenges that are expected on this take, and many experts say that the policy may not hold long, and it will, once it comes into the purview of the court, this is going to be dismissed. Cool. What are the implications of the US? So let's say, if at all, if this is working, or if this is going being assumed, then what are the implications that the USA will be facing, right? First is higher cost, right? So significantly the cost for the US companies for hiring foreign candidates will be rising exponentially. Reason being that now they have to pay an additional fee apart from the compensation, right? And that fee is obviously this H1B visa fee of $100,000. Second is reduced hiring. So they will be now reducing the hiring from the abroad or from the outsourced countries which require H1B visa. And third is alternative strategies. So the companies will have to assume alternate strategies uh, for remote hiring of the abroad employees, or they will have to figure out something wherein they can employ domestic workers in their place. Next is, what is the business and industry effect of this? That is, the tech companies will be hit the hardest, right? Because most of the tech companies only are employing the employees from outside of US, from countries like India and China, right? Because the talent pool here is really, really great. The skill set that India has and the China has is great, right? So for reference, about 71% of the H1B holders are Indians, and 13% are about the US, are about the Chinese H1B holders. Next is startups would struggle. The reason being, for a startup, spending $100,000 on additionally on a candidate in form of H1B visa fees will be just very high. And then there'll be restructuring strategies, right? So they'll be taking up strategies for restructuring, of the company and the workforce. Therefore, companies may delay hiring, and then offshore operations would start happening, which means offices will be in India and the employees will be working from India. They'll start, automating a lot of the works that are done by people, and they'll try to do it through automated systems. What are the labor market dynamics that will impact? There will be shift of to US workers. So the policy is so designed that the US workers should get an opportunity or get more opportunity, right? So there will be some shift for sure. Then domestic benefits will be there because marginally US jobs there will be an increase or impact benefit to the US job seekers, and then gap challenge will be there obviously because this is the core reason why the US companies were dependent on the outsourced labors. It was because the skill set honed by the Indian or Chinese were far better than uh, them from than the than the employees from the US, right? So there will be a you know significant skilled workers gap there. Next, so impact. How is it going to impact the Indian works, right? So first is obviously higher barriers. So it will becoming very difficult for Indian employees to go and work in the US because now the H1B applications will be not so easy, right? I mean, it was not easy before, but it's going to even become more difficult in terms of compliance, in terms of monetary requirements, right? Then there'll be fewer opportunities. The companies in the US, sitting in the US, will not try to invest more on outsourcing, candidates or employees, right? And then obviously there'll be visa complications because Indians outside the US may face additional bureaucratic challenges and restrictions. So the people who are already there, who are already having visa, they'll obviously, because of this law coming into picture, there'll be a set of new compliances that they'll have to comply with, and they'll have to figure out, right? So there'll be some challenges that will be coming. Next is Indian companies and opportunities. So for there'll be an outsourcing shift, which is obvious, right? IT firms may reduce demand on on-site workers, and then there'll be remote work growth. Possibly the people who are working in the US and the employees who are in the US, they would want the employers would want them to stay in their country and their hometown and then work for them, right? Because then they wouldn't have to travel. And the third is investment in skills. These employees will have to focus on upskilling the talents within India to meet the global demand. So this is something that will have to be done. And that's a good thing, by the way. And looking at the long-term strategic effects that this decision is going to bring, one is obviously talent flow reduction. So there'll be a reduction in the talent flow from the India or China to USA. And there'll be innovation impact. So let's say there'll be huge impact that the innovation used to happen in the US, right? Because it was happening only at the cost of the talented people who were moving to the US from India or China or any other country, right? So once it is not happening, right, the innovation that was happening in the US, that will go down. That will start happening in the countries like India and China itself, right? There'll be R&D relocation. So this might also happen that the companies in the US, they might start their research and development centers in US, in India itself, right, where they can get easy talents and they do not have to go through that compliances of H1B visa. Then comes the global image. So this is going to definitely impact the image of USA for being non-global friendly or non-employment friendly for the rest of the world. So this is going to impact their image for sure. That was all, I think. Thank you for your time and attention. If you have anything or more questions on this, feel free to just reach out to me. This is Niranjan. This is my email ID, and then that's my phone number. You can call me, or you can just text me or WhatsApp me. I'll be ready to help, and I'll be ready to respond. Great. Thank you. Thanks for listening to me. Thank you. That was a good time. This is Niranjan signing off. Bye bye.